following is a paid program. The opinions expressed are not necessarily those of WNBU and Interbanks Media. Welcome to All Things Money with David Blain, a thoughtful and revealing discussion of actionable ideas and effective strategies to help you through the complex world of investing, taxes, and real estate. Now, with All Things Money, here's David Blain.
Hello and welcome to All Things Money. I'm your host, David Blain. Thank you for joining us today as we kick off the first show of 2013. I hope you had a good holiday season. Of course, Christmas Day was 25th of December, which was a Tuesday, and New Year's was also a Tuesday, which is when we record the show. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've been with you all, and missed having this weekly conversation. We've got a lot to cover. A lot happened last part of the year. In case you were out of the country or in a remote island someplace and didn't realize it, we largely avoided the fiscal cliff. So we want to go over some of the details of the bill that was passed by the House and Senate and signed by President Obama that addressed some of the taxation issues. Before we do, I would be remiss in not covering this with you. I know a lot of you have kids out there going to college or grandkids trying to pay for college, and we've talked a lot about saving for college. And one of the things that I've always maintained is that the reason college is so expensive is simply because most of the money is subsidized. Whenever you have a subsidized industry and you disconnect the payer from the people receiving the money and you have a third party in there like health care, and to a large extent now college is the same way. Most people either take out loans or they get grants or scholarships, and whenever you have that disconnect, you see costs balloon, you see the quality of service go down, and we're seeing that. I've illustrated many times about colleges. Well, this came out, the Wall Street Journal, December 28th, and this is specifically an article about the University of Minnesota, but it applies to all colleges across the country. And the story starts out talking about this man named Eric Kohler, who became the president of the University of Minnesota. And he pledged to curb soaring tuition by cutting administrative overhead. And this is the other thing, is that the tuition costs are rising, so the colleges are going to the states, or especially the public schools, and saying, hey, we need to raise tuition, and then the students are all protesting because they think it's, they're not paying up, people aren't paying enough taxes, and they're protesting the rising costs of education and things like that, and no one is looking at the actual school. So anyway, this president came in to do it, and as he says, the college was on a spending spree the past decade, paid for by a steady stream of state money and rising tuition. And they didn't keep close tabs on their payroll as it swelled beyond 19,000 employees at the University of Minnesota. Nearly one for every 3.5 students. That is just unbelievable. One employee for every 3.5 students. That's just unbelievable waste and fraud. It says that the system added more than 1,000 administrators since 2001. The ranks grew 37%, more than twice as fast as the teaching corps and nearly twice as fast as the student body. So the administration of this, they ballooned. It says administrative payrolls, number of employees hired by colleges and universities to manage or administrate people, programs, and regulations increased 50% faster than the number of instructors between 2001 and 2011. So you see all these government regulations, all these policies, all these exploding costs and things going into administration. And so the administration of colleges, they become just like the government, overbloated, waste, fraud, abuse. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so this report goes on to say at the University of Minnesota, employees classified as executive/administrative and managerial among the 72 very high research public universities. It had the largest share of employees among the 72 research universities. This is telling. The Minnesota tuition and fees have more than doubled in a decade. So they've doubled to $13,524, exceeds the average at four-year college of $86.55. And of course, private college tuition has soared to $29,056. Now in here, I wanted to, the article goes on for pages and pages. If you want to read it, I highly encourage you to. I don't know, I have a subscription to the Wall Street Journal, but it was December the 28th in the Wall Street Journal. It's called Dean's List, Hiring Spree Fattens College Bureaucracy and Tuition. And it's a great article. If you don't have a subscription, you want a copy, just give me a call or email here at the show, which, by the way, the phone number here at the show is 252-633-0107. And you can also email me at allthingsmoney@dlblain.com. That's allthingsmoney@dlblain.com. Or just head over to the website, dlblain.com, and hit the big Contact Us button. But so the Wall Street Journal is a subscription, obviously. If you can't get this, just give me a call or email, and we can send you a link where you can read it. But it's a great article on the problems with higher education today. So back to the story, I wanted to highlight within this burgeoning, ballooning administrative overhead some telling statistics. Number one, administrative employees make up an increasing share of the university's higher paid people. And get this, the school employs 353 people earning more than $200,000 a year. We see the same problem in the federal government, especially in the D.C. area. You have massive amounts of people making $100,000, $200,000. So back to the university. That's up 57% from the inflation-adjusted pay of 2001. Among this 200,000 plus group, 81 have administrative titles versus 39 in 2001. Administrators making over $300,000 rose to 17 from 7. So this college has 17 administrators making over $300,000, and it has 353 people making over $200,000 a year. And of course, retirement expenses, these people get paid retirements, health care, all these benefits, and it's just this big boondoggle for administration, similar to state governments, similar to the federal government. Anyway, so it's a great article on some of the problems that we're having with college and the bureaucracy. We're coming up on the first break. When we come back during the last two segments of the show, we'll talk about some of the provisions in the bill that was just passed, H.R. 8, as amended by the Senate and signed by President Obama, talking about all the tax changes that will occur in 2013 and beyond. And believe me, there's a lot of them. So for All Things Money, I'm your host, David Blain. We'll be right back after a few short messages.